Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ plus story for today. I'm Bonnie Builder, and let's queer up drag culture. Drag performer detained by ICE after asylum hearing in San Francisco. A beloved San Francisco drag performer and queer immigrant known on stage as Hilary Rivers has been detained by ICE agents after her June 26 asylum hearing. Rivers, originally from Central America, is seeking asylum in the U.S. due to the traumatic and severe persecution she faced in her home country for being gay. Her legal name is being withheld for privacy. After a judge denied the government's motion to dismiss her case, Rivers was arrested outside the courtroom. It's now believed she's being held at the Golden State Annex, an ICE facility near Bakersfield. Her detainment came just one day after competing in the 30th annual Miss and Mr. Safe Latino Pageant, which promotes health and wellness in the LGBTQ Latino community. Her legal admission into the U.S. came through CBP One, a Biden-era program that was recently canceled by the Trump administration. That cancellation also revoked parole status for many migrants like Rivers. According to Millie Atkinson, legal director at the San Francisco Immigrant Legal Defense Collaborative, quote, "There's not a more textbook case of what asylum was created for than a case like this. To have them take him away from his community during Pride Week when he's fleeing persecution for his queer identity and when he had just participated in that pageant is just horrific to me. It's just a disgrace," end quote. ICE's tactic of detaining asylum seekers directly after court hearings has been increasingly reported in the Bay Area since May. San Francisco Pride released a statement expressing solidarity with Rivers, condemning what it called attacks on immigrant communities. The organization encouraged the public to write letters of support to Rivers and reminded the nation that San Francisco is the vibrant city we know of today because of the contributions of immigrants, especially queer immigrants. So from one queen to another, baby, we all are standing behind you. We understand that this is completely unfair. This should not have happened to you. And we are standing behind you. And we are going to do whatever we can, baby, to get you and people just like you out of there. You came to the States for freedom to be yourself, for safety, for love and compassion. And you've been treated with the complete opposite. You have contributed to your community. You have tried to become a pillar of your community. Unfortunately, with the situation, this is how it's happening. You are now a pillar of this community because we are all standing behind you. But to go from a pageant where you're standing for the Latino LGBTQ plus for safety and wellness, and then to be treated like this because of who you are is completely unfair. We support you. We love you. We appreciate you. We stand behind you, and we will be there for you.
You know, we're going through a lot of this here in South Florida, which is why I keep on nodding because, like, you know, every time I go see a friend, you know, she's always telling me, yeah, the guy who came in with my dad, you know, went to his second asylum meeting and he never came back. Or we haven't heard from this coworker that went to a meeting and never came back. And people are disappearing off the streets here in South Florida like it's nobody's business. So to hear this about Hilary Rivers and it happening in San Francisco is heartbreaking. You know, she didn't just get here the other day. She's been here 10 years doing drag, right? She's originally from El Salvador and then was raised in Guatemala. And, you know, it just reminds us that visibility means vulnerability. You know, so, I mean, when you see our black and brown drag queens, they're performing, they're putting themselves out there. You know, I mean, she just competed in a pageant, you know, a couple days before, you know, giving to her community to just get picked up, right? I mean, she's at a detention center now in California, but who's to say she won't end up in El Salvador with the rest of those people going through their heartache? Not that people aren't going through their heartache here at Alligator Alcatraz that are being eaten by mosquitoes. You know, but I mean, like, you know, like Bonnie says, my heart breaks for her, breaks for her commitment to our community. She knows what she was going through. She knows what's going on out there. And she still put herself out there and still went to the appointment. Like, what do you do in that? You know, what do you,
there's no way.
There's no way to win.
No, because you have to show up at your hearing.
You don't have to show up. Okay, but then what do? Then you just live in fear, waiting for them to find you?
Coming to your door, right.
Coming to your door or arresting you right after the hearing seems almost like illegal, that you should be able to take that opportunity where you know where they're going to be and then take them away. You know, it breaks my heart for not just her, but for all the others that we're not hearing about. When you just mentioned people disappearing off the streets, there are so many people that are missing but they're not getting recognized because they can't announce everyone. And
they're not processing them.
No, they're not processing them doing anything. And like you said, down here in Alligator Alcatraz, what happens when we have a hurricane? They're intense. I mean, we're just going to have dead bodies everywhere. And these are people that contribute to our community, that have been here most of illegally. They're naturalized citizens. I've got a friend who's moving closer to Canada just because he feels he's Ukrainian. They're going to come after him. So he wants to be within an hour and a half of the Canadian border.
And you know what's the sad part about your Ukrainian friend? They're not going to get to him yet because he's not black or brown.
Right.
Okay, so he's not going to be stopped.
Activist.
You know what I mean? So so he's an activist, so his name is out there. Again, another person being vulnerable by putting their information out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and it's important to reiterate what Bonnie said, that San Francisco is the vibrant city we know today because of the contributions of immigrants, and especially queer immigrants, which is also true of many other cities, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, we were in South Florida, as well as across the country.
Also, let me add this. This is going to be between me and black folk. Black folk, we have a tendency to say, this doesn't involve us, so let's not get involved. We are a compassionate people, black people. We've been through so much, so we can empathize when others are going through hardship. So we always have needed to care because we are caring people. But just because you don't think you look Hispanic that they're going to target you, that's not the case. They're going for any sort of immigrant or immigrant-looking person. So the Haitian community, those who are over here, they are also being targeted. So yo black ass that's walking through these Miami streets thinking you safe because you don't look Hispanic, no, they're coming for you too. So we need to care. We need to care for our Hispanic community, our Latino community. We also need to care for us. We need to care for everybody. But no more of this conversation of it doesn't involve us, so let's not get involved. We all need to be involved for a better country. This involves all of us, okay?
You heard her.
Yep.
And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.